Do you remember that half a bag of boneless, skinless chicken breasts that we didn't use the other week? Yeah, well, that night I actually was making this dish. And so for those of you that don't remember, the chicken got cooked in the Instant Pot, 35 minutes on high pressure for the entire 3-pound bag of chicken. I just put a cup of water in to help it pressurize, let it cook. I don't season it at all. If I'm going to be splitting it up between meals, that way I can season it in the dish and it will take on those flavors and I can make more variety. Now, I do also tend to cook for leftovers. That might surprise you when you are probably used to hearing, absolutely, you can't eat leftovers. Guess what? You can eat leftovers. You just need to freeze them in between. So I typically cook on the large side. I've got 2 teenagers and myself, and if I can get 1 or 2 extra servings out of a dish, I will toss those in the freezer and pull them out for my lunches while they're at school. Now, with the asparagus, if you snap these this way, you won't get any of the woody bits, just the tender bits, and it does take a little bit of time to do, but not a huge amount. If you don't have time, though, feel free to snap a couple, line them up with the rest of the bunch, and just chop everything below that and toss that in your compost pile or wherever you have. And then put them aside. Now, I am using lard here. I've been experimenting with that as a fat, and I seem to be actually doing okay with it. It does add a little bit of flavor. Use whatever fat you tolerate well. This would be perfectly fine with butter, or I would use avocado oil. Just whatever you have and use and is okay for you. Make sure it's coated all over the sweet potatoes, add a little bit of water, and then put the lid on to steam. Now, overall, this is taking about 15 seconds for you to see this 15 or so minute process. And when you see me kind of stabbing things with the edge of the spatula or a knife, just realize I'm trying to check if those potatoes are getting done. You do want a little bit of crunch in this dish, but you want that to come from the asparagus, not the sweet potatoes. Ideally, the sweet potatoes will have a little bit of caramelization on the edges, and the asparagus will be cooked but not mush. Just, you want a little bit of crunch. Now, I did make this with thyme and onion flakes. I was trying to keep it simple and give you guys an idea of something that was not garlic. I was also told by my daughter that she wouldn't eat that again. I'm still learning on thyme. I think I probably put too much. They actually, both kids agreed that it would have been much better doing garlic and rosemary. That is a combination we really like. If I was to do it with thyme again, I would probably do half as much thyme. I would use like a normal onion rather than dried onion, and I'd add probably a tablespoon of maple syrup as well. Now, I've added all of the stuff in. Keep in mind, the chicken was already cooked, so I'm getting that worked in with the seasonings and adding just a little bit more water that will help things kind of caramelize and mix in terms of the flavors. And then that is really all there is to it. Probably one of the more complicated because it's not just dumping it. Supper's ready.